Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman, and in this lesson, we're going to learn how to improvise an accompaniment for Greensleeves. I'll show you how you can play the accompaniment in your left hand while your right hand plays the melody. And I'll also show you how you can play an accompaniment with both hands, which would allow you to play Greensleeves as a duet with someone else who plays the melody. Let's come to the piano to get started. So first we're going to learn how to play a left hand simple accompaniment that can go along with your right hand playing the melody. So our right hand will be doing 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, while our left hand adds in the chords, which you can see written up above the staff. So our first chord will be this A minor chord, built on A, C, E. Go ahead and with your left hand find an A minor chord and try playing that. Good, and since that is the only chord symbol we see in that measure, we'll hold that for the entire measure. Also notice that the chord symbol is written over beat 1 of this first full measure. It's not written over the pickup beat. That pickup note should be played by itself, 6, 1. The chords generally want to reinforce the time signature, which means giving a more strong sound on beat 1. 6, 1, 2. So we'll play the chord on beat 1. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then notice in the next measure we have a G major chord. If you don't see that little M, you always assume just a capital letter always means a major chord. So we had capital A, little m, that means A minor, then capital G for G major. So just glide your left hand over a step. For G major, G, B, D. And now in measure 3, what chord do you see? That's F major. So find an F major chord, which is also all white keys, right? And then what's the next chord you see? If you notice, capital E stands for E major, which is E, G sharp, B. And these are all diatonic chords in the key of A minor, right? So pause the video and practice just using your left hand to play that sequence of chords and then press play to go on. Now go ahead and try putting the melody together with the chords. I'm assuming that you've already mastered the melody. If you need more practice with that, you can pause the video or go back to the lesson on the melody for Greensleeves for more review. But together it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. F major, E major. Now, pause the video and work on putting that melody together with those 4 chords. Then press play to go on. Good, now let's look at the next phrase, which begins here on beat 6 of measure 4. We have 6, 1, 2, 3. Another 1 chord, A minor to G major. So far, it's been the same as before. Now here we get an F chord, switching to an E chord, so the chord changes. Now we have 2 chords in one measure. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, here's a chord symbol we might not have seen before. You see this D little m, which stands for D minor, / A. Now in chord symbols, whatever comes before a slash is the chord that you're supposed to play. So we need a D minor chord. That A stands for the note you're supposed to play at the bottom of the chord. In other words, the bass note of the chord, which could mean that we're going to use an inversion. For example, if you were to just play a regular root position D minor chord, we'd have D, F, A. A is on the top. Well, we know what to do with that. We can invert it like this. Oh, now F is on the bottom. We can invert it again and put that F on top. This is still a D minor chord, but it's in second inversion. Now A is on the bottom, which is what this symbol is asking for. D minor / A means play a D minor chord but make sure that A is on the bottom. Another way we could have done that is just played a root position chord and then just add an extra A down there. That could have worked as well, but for this arrangement, again, we're improvising an accompaniment, so there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're just making some choices. I'm going to choose to put the A on the bottom here and take this D and F and put it up here. So I'm inverting my chord to this D minor second inversion chord. See, now I have A on the bottom as part of this D minor chord, and that resolves to an A minor chord to finish the song. So again, and so that's the reason I chose to do this, because it's going to very smoothly go to this A minor there, okay? And you may recognize, oh, that's a 4 chord going to a 1 chord. You may recognize that progression. Go ahead and try that with me. 5, 2, 1 is the fingering on that D minor / A chord going to an A minor chord. Okay, so starting in measure 5, we get A minor, G major, whoops, F, E, D minor / A to A minor. Okay, now pause the video and on your own, practice this chord progression, which will feel very similar to what we did before, except now we're coming up to this D minor / A, going to an A minor chord. Pause the video to work on that, then press play to go on. Now let's go ahead and try putting measures 7 and 8 hands together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and pause the video and work on putting those 2 measures hands together. If you need to review just the right hand alone once, and then go back, do the left hand alone a couple of times, get used to all those chords, and then try it together very slowly. Pause the video to work on that, then press play to go on. Now, you've just learned a very simple way to add an accompaniment. We're basically just taking each chord in root position and playing it as a blocked triad or chord. Now, there are so many other ways you can do it. The possibilities really are endless. A simple way to kind of make it feel a little more flowing would be to change this to a broken chord. And here I'm going to do an ascending or skipping up pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Listen to how that would sound. Notice on that last chord I actually switched to a block chord, so it has the feeling of finality. Okay, so that's one option. Go ahead and pause the video and just play around with that option. You don't necessarily need to play through the whole song, but at least try a couple measures with this broken chord style. And if you like it, go ahead and try the whole song and then press play, and I'll show you a few other options too. Now, if you're not a big fan of this ascending or skipping up pattern, well, why not reverse it? We could do skipping down. How about that? Let's listen. Okay, or you can kind of mix up broken and blocked like this. So here I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. We could go up, then down. Or up, then back and forth. So many possibilities. Now, if you really want to get fancy, what you can do is try this as a duet where a friend or me, using the backing track, is playing the melody, and you're going to play a two-handed accompaniment. And that opens up some more possibilities. Your left hand is going to probably sound the best playing just the root of each chord. Remember, the root is just the name of your chord. So the root of A minor is A, the root of G major is G, the root of F major is F, the root of E major is E. It's just the name of your chord, while the right hand can be doing something fancy. Like we could go, well, we could just do that same broken pattern as before, but just adding in the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try this together. We're going to start in measure 1, and I just want your right hand to do this skipping up pattern, do, me, so, while the left hand plays the root of each chord and just holds for the whole measure. Okay, get your left hand finger 1 on this low A, the right hand's up here near middle C. I'll count 6 beats and then we'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to G, 3, 4, 5, 6 to F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Notice my right hand is moving through those chords, but the left hand can just stay in one place because you're just playing one finger at a time. Now let me show you one maybe super challenge way to do this accompaniment, and that would be to do a 1-octave arpeggio with your right hand. Think about your A minor triad. It's built on A, C, E. If you turn that into a 1-octave arpeggio, you go 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1, right? Try that once. A, C, E, A, E, C, A, with finger 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1. It's just our 1-octave arpeggio, right? We can add that into an accompaniment pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, we can't land on A because we're already on beat 6. So now we've got to jump to G and turn that into a 1-octave arpeggio. See how I did that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to G. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to F. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to E major. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would be kind of a super challenge way of playing this accompaniment. 1, 2, 3. To measure 7, you only have 3 beats on each chord. So if I do this whole arpeggio, look, I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and on beat 4 I'm supposed to be on E major. So what am I going to do? Well, I could just switch back to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I could go up with an F major triad and then come down with an E major triad, right? Did you see how I did that? F going up. And then I could come down on this, but I think it might sound cooler to come up to this E and then come down my E major arpeggio. And then I need a D minor slash A, so I'll do an A here in my left hand, and I could do... See how I used a D minor first inversion chord here, and then I ended on a A minor second inversion chord there. You can use inversions to kind of make it more interesting and a little bit smoother for where your hand position happens to be. Okay? Now, if you got a little bit lost through all of that, that's okay. I'm just showing you possibilities. Once you understand chords and inversions and you see an F major chord on the lead sheet, know that any F, A, and C on the entire piano is fair game. You could play it here, 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 here. You could even spread the notes out. Do an F, a C, and an A way up there. See, I took this A and put it up there, which makes a cool sound, right? so many possibilities to play with. It's just 3 notes that you can play anywhere on the piano. And a good pianist who understands improvising tries out different patterns and has a few up their sleeve that they're used to. I've shown you a few basics and an extension that uses an arpeggio, but feel free to experiment and invent your own patterns too. Great work today learning how to improvise an accompaniment for Greensleeves. Remember, there are lots of ways to play this. You can play the accompaniment with your left hand while you play the melody with your right hand, or you can play a two-handed accompaniment while a duet partner plays the melody along with you. Finally, if you don't have someone to play a duet with, you can play a duet with me by using the Greensleeves backing tracks available from our website. Happy practicing, and see you next time. Hey everyone, I made up a song. Want to hear it? Sure. Let's hear it. Okay, here goes. I'll sing you a riddle this bright sunny morn. What instrument does a rhinoceros play? He plays on a horn. That's a good one. Very funny. There's another verse. I'll sing you a riddle. Tell me if you're able. Why does the tuba only play low notes? I don't know. It wants to stay out of treble. Stay out of treble. Oh, I got one. I got one. All right. I'll sing you a riddle. I'll sing it with pride. Why can't I open my piano? Why can't you open your piano? The keys are locked inside. That's great. This is really fun. Yeah, great song, Scuba. Thanks. I think we should celebrate Scuba's new song with some ice cream. Great idea. Let's go. I wonder if I could come up with a good verse for your song. I'm sure you can.